power, unfair procedures, negligence, discrimination, arbitrary or unreasonable procedures. The Ombudsman may be able to give you some help. The Office of the Ombudsman was established to provide assistance to persons who believe that they have suffered injustice or abuse at the hands of officers employed by government ministries or a statutory body. Give us a call today on telephone numbers 435-9315 or 9316, or walk into our offices during the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Our motto speaks for itself: justice and fairness for all.
Did you know that mosquitoes are the carriers of disease? Well, it is the responsibility of all householders to ensure that containers around the home are properly managed. Efforts must be made to reduce the mosquito population. Cover all water drums and barrels tightly by using a cloth and elastic band or other appropriate method of covering. Remember, mosquitoes are your enemies, not your friends. That was a message from the Ministry of Health.
Clean hands save lives. Keeping hands clean is one of the most important steps we can take to avoid getting sick and spreading germs to others. It is best to wash your hands with soap and clean running water for 20 seconds. However, if soap and clean water are not available, use an alcohol-based product to clean your hands. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers significantly reduce the number of germs on skin and are fast-acting. Follow these simple steps when using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. 1. Apply product to the palm of your hand. 2. Rub hands together. And 3. Rub the product over all surfaces of hands and fingers until hands are dry. This is a message from the Ministry of Health.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada via www.hardtalkgrenada.com.
My enemy's walls are bound to crumble, and to the floor their spears will fall. I've been made and sealed with love, but time to battle, I'll find them all. I felt the whips and remember chains, but my sword has been forged by my father's flames. Fight your fears and heal your pain, and victory will be in your name.
I used to be weak, but I'm not weak no more. I found the strength of my ancestors deep down in my African core. I used to be frightened, I'm not afraid no more. The Father blessed me with the heart of a lion and a warrior soul. So no weapon that form against I shall not prevail. And no man that rise against I, that war they shall never win. 'Cause I will conquer, oh I will conquer, yes I will conquer. Let's conquer. Oh, I will conquer. Rise up and conquer. Conquer them. Tell them no retreat, no surrender. I shall fight till the end of days. I was born as a Makai warrior, and the Almighty God my blade. Fire burn all Satan carrier. Father loose all shackles and chain. This morning first thing as I wake up, King David told Sam to the brain. Don't let your courage go down, keep it up. And if your heart rip up and stitch it up, don't let your faith them fall, pick it up. When my cup was empty, God fill it up. Don't take the devil contract, rip it up. And if your bad mind people to go meet it up, pass me the Congo drum and let me beat it up. God on my side, me no give it up. So no weapon that form against I shall not prevail. And no man that rise against I.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pedimatnik. Once again, it's time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And you are?
Anissa Romain.
All right, nice. Yes, 3 of us inside today. Not 3. 3 is the thing outside. Yeah. There are 3 of us in studio this morning. Brandy!
When that tune in one time.
So, folks, a pleasant, and don't feel like, from here in a hurry. Stay for the program. She did enter Devon.
Yeah, she did.
Right?
She did me for the day.
Mm-hmm. So, folks, it is a beautiful Wednesday morning on the Spice Isle of Grenada. We're live via 97.5 FM.
89.5 CRFM.
92.9 Sister Isle FM. Wait, hold on. Good morning, Lisa Marie. Nice, beautiful. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, my dear. Yeah, nice.
Good morning, little Rena.
Indeed. And folks.
And 94.9 We Vibes Radio in Brooklyn, New York. Wade, good morning.
Yeah, Wade is the
bad mouth.
Wade, he said nummy. All right? He said nummy.
It's another beautiful morning, hey, and just trying to recover from a day in reflection yesterday, June 19th. Yeah, historic day in Grenada, and
I meet certain people yesterday to say continue with it today, but
lots
me,
of comments and no, but hey, if persons want to call and ask questions about this and I can answer, then hey, it's
me.
Because
I was probably about 3-4 years old. I don't know.
And I mean, there are persons who didn't even know certain those persons who were involved and everything like that. Just first time they hear their name.
Probably the worst terrorist act in the Caribbean region at that time.
Yeah, well, in '76 we had the bombing of the Cuban airliner by Carlos.
The Jackal. That's outside Barbados where the plane went down.
Yes. That after that, Grenada became one of the most tragic, and then Grenada again.
After that, you had a few dustbin bomb hunting in Trinidad. That's about it. Yeah. And we hope that for the rest of the existence of the Caribbean and the planet Earth, we have no more. That is it. We ain't want nobody to come and try and top nothing that happened there already. Yeah, we good. We ain't looking for them kind of record day.
No.
We good. We ain't need that.
Our history is rich enough for these type of activities, and so right now it's healing period and process going through, and we need to concentrate on that development.
Yes, indeed. And folks, we have to just let you all know, remember, from the Ministry of Social Development, persons receiving the seed benefits, the payment starts tomorrow. Yes, so those of you who receive your payments under the seed program for the children and for the elderly and that kind of thing, remember, payments start tomorrow. So from 8:30 tomorrow at the various revenue offices, you can go tomorrow to collect your seed payments. Yeah, for those who say you don't have money and all kind of thing. Yes, seed payments start. I started tomorrow and it continuing until next week, Wednesday.
27th?
Yeah. Yes. But don't go Saturday and Sunday and try and look. It's not nobody inside it.
You don't know nobody inside it.
You want to be a good view. Don't go Saturday and Sunday, no, Miss Romain. Then people want to go Saturday and Sunday. Yes, no, you can't go Saturday and Sunday.
Some persons want to be efficient. They want to make sure that they get what they have to get, and so.
Yes, indeed. So note that all payments will only be done on those days. After that, if you do not collect the money, it's gonna go. You're gonna forfeit it. You wouldn't be able to get like that and next month on together. Once you don't go for it this month, well, you're basically like you don't need it, so go find use for that.
And you wouldn't double up next month, so
no double up.
Yeah, it's not double up.
No double.
And you better have good reason for not accepting it the month that you didn't go, because you may just find yourself in position, because persons might say, okay, you're not really in need of it, or the case may be. So be careful. Do things that based according to how it's set down. Don't do it on your own, and then when the repercussions come out, persons may having problem.
Yes, and also, folks, just another piece of important information. When Carnival time is coming up, we have the different people that are selling food at all different locations. Usually it happens generally, but you have food selling, and you just go and buy a little fried chicken. No, you don't eat chicken and thing.
What?
Oh, sorry, my mistake. You had to follow daddy, girl. What kind of thing is that? You had to follow daddy. You can't be eating chicken and thing. Fire burn. Well, yeah, fire does burn because it does barbecue and thing. But still. So, you have around carnival time, you have the settings where people will have the fried chicken and the barbecue chicken and the different food and so at the different locations. Although for me, to be honest with you, it's sickening now because like you go to activity and it's always the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Fried chicken, chips. Fried chicken, fried fish, chips. Fried chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
And sometimes, like, you have to get the Ministry of Health to pass and test some of the oil. Because I think some of them frying this year chicken and last year carnival oil. So
I had to smell it there from the time they started getting the heat.
I ain't call no name.
Yeah. No, I've been calling no name and it's a fact.
It has some people that very clean and very thing with how they do chickens. It has some, to me, like when they pull out the thing where they put it last year carnival, they just pull it back and the same oil again and use. I don't know. But that's just my view. Anyhow. But
it's a concern. It's a serious concern.
Yeah, it is definitely
preparation,
It is definitely a serious concern. So the Ministry of Health, on a yearly basis, they've got that training that they commence during the month of July for all the people to be certified who want to sell food during the carnival time. So they have sent out their release in relation to that. So commencing today, roving food handlers and other interested persons would be given the opportunity to become certified food handlers by enrolling in the Ministry of Health, PAHO, HACCP program. I'll find out what HACCP means. The Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point Certified Program. The annual Food Handlers Training Program, which focuses on 9 modules, kicked off today with the first training session taking place at the Guave Fish Market Conference Room for persons in St. John and St. Mark. So if you're here right now and you're hearing Miss June up there in St. John, yeah, Miss June, right, yeah, all of you, head over there to the Guave Fish Market and get certified.
Yep.
They have a primary focus on introduction to food safety. Some of the topics they'll be covering are personal hygiene. Yeah, like them people who you had to bathe.
Yeah.
Bathe.
And with proper attire.
Bathe.
And not just, and the thing is not just for those who want to be certified, but those who are already involved. A refresher course wouldn't hurt.
And bathe.
Yeah. Exactly. And stop wearing the armless and so on and that kind of thing. You have to. It's high. Yeah. I mean, this thing is not just like that.
And bathe.
No comment.
Right. So personal hygiene, purchasing, receiving, safe food storage practices, safe reheating, thawing and freezing, cleaning and sanitation, vector control, food safety legislation and introduction to hazard analysis critical control point. That's the HACCP. Participants will be taught how to improve on personal hygiene practices and sanitation standards where food is prepared and offered for sale to prevent and control the occurrences of foodborne illnesses among consumers. The training will include lectures via PowerPoint presentations, interactive sessions, handouts and evaluation. All the training sessions will be conducted from 1 to 4 p.m. So those of you in St. Andrew, it ain't too late. Not St. Andrew, St. John and St. Mark.
Yeah.
You can go, it's from 1 to 4 p.m. All right. And then we have the schedule for the others. St. Andrew, you're in July, the 11th, 12th and 18th of July, the Grenville Environmental Health Office, same time, 1:30 to 4 p.m. St. David, you're on the 25th, 26th and 27th of July at the La Sagesse Natural Works. St. Patrick, you're on the 17th, 18th and 19th of July at the St. Patrick RC School. St. George, you're the 3rd, the 5th, the 10th, the 12th and the 17th of July at the Ministry of Works Conference Room, St. George. St. John and St. Mark, well, yeah, always kind of today, the 20th and the 21st of June, so today, tomorrow, and Friday, at the Fish Market Conference Room and Carriacou Petit Martinique on the 25th and 26th at the Resource Center in Hillsborough. So, very important, proper hygiene, bathe, them kind of thing.
Smell good.
Here's what, I've gotten to the stage now, and some people go say that a playing thing. No, it's not a playing thing. But all you just agree with me for once. You go in and buy saltfish from somebody. You know the thing saltfish. You know we do saltfish. You have to strip it and that kind of thing. But the person nails black as if they went and paved road. I mean, I ain't eating saltfish from you.
Yeah, not easy.
are not.
Although you may not be the person to prepare it.
Are not.
But the presentation alone leads me to think it's you that prepare it.
Because you actually put your finger in it.
Kirkle,
good morning, sweetheart.
Saltfish is a delicate thing in it to prepare.
And it's stripping this thing, taking out the bone and thing. And when you look at the person's nails, you say, watch my eye. My eye doesn't have that.
Would change the taste of the saltfish. I mean, as Sparrow say, all saltfish, it's sweet. And so you have to have the proper clean nails and short nails.
I don't know how they could do this thing. I ain't eating no saltfish from nobody like that.
Especially on the side of the road like that. I mean, come on.
I got to that stage right now. It have certain people I will, and it have other I just will not.
Hannah, good morning.
Nobody ain't convincing me. Hannah, behave yourself. Nobody. I'll show you some kind of thing out of the waiting.
And Kim, the beauty comes from the side of the Romain, so just a listen. Good morning to everyone on the live, especially good morning to you.
Let me restart because I ain't get any messages.
Yeah, you miss a few.
I miss a few. Well, but I'll say this: it's folks, when you're out there and you're buying food, you have to be careful. You can't go to buy saltfish from a person, but when you look at the fingers, you realize that the fingernails dirty, like if there was walking tar for the entire day. You can't.
No, you can't. And also, I wouldn't advise people to do that.
One of the other things is some people buy barbecue. And I ain't trying to fight down anybody's business, but clean is clean, nasty is nasty. When you look at how some people keep their barbecue grill and where they keep their barbecue grill, some people lock out the barbecue grill, and if you pass there, you see cockroach walking on it.
But not just cockroach and things.
I will say cockroach for now because there's some other things walking there too.
You might see a dog sleeping right around where they have all the thing, the stand and everything like that. I mean, these are little things, right? But that can decide whether we live or we die. You see, our health is very important. And we're not just saying that to belittle anybody, but to encourage all our vendors. Presentation, preparation is key.
Changing the oil that you're frying stuff in, and also cross-contamination. Now, I have a very good friend. In fact, I just saw he sent me a message. He's in Canada right now. He is one of the persons who cannot eat shellfish. Yeah. He can't eat things like lamby, oyster.
And that kind of thing.
He can't eat shrimp, lobster, none of these things. He can't eat these kind of things. And in fact, if he comes into contact with it, his entire body starts to itch, his throat starts to itch, his tongue starts to swell up, and he runs the risk of actually stifling to death because his throat starts to close in. And recently he was in a restaurant, not here in Grenada, but he's in a restaurant in Canada, and he had a serious problem in that apparently he told them when he came in, he said, please inform the chef that I'm allergic to seafood. But there was some sort of cross-contamination. They probably used a spoon or some utensil that they used over in the shellfish over on the dishes that they used for him. And he nearly died.
Yeah. Some people can't smell that.
Luckily, he had an EpiPen, one of those pens they have where they inject themselves one time. He had one of that, and that was able to save his life. It is no joke thing for persons who have intolerance for seafood and certain things.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, there are people that can't even be. In fact, I was on a flight once, and there was somebody on the flight who had an allergy to nuts. Yeah. And sometimes they would pass wrong nuts. They didn't even pass out the nuts to anybody. They didn't even want it outside because that person had an allergy to nuts. There are persons who nuts will kill them.
Yeah, definitely.
If they're eating something and they're nuts, and some people take this thing for joke. You say you're not eating nuts and they put some inside it. Or some people say they're not eating fish and you give them something and they say, cook that fish, you wouldn't know you eat it. No. Sometimes it's an allergy and you can cause the death of that person because they are allergic to that. So those of you who are selling food, you need to be extremely careful when it comes to how you're dealing with the food situation because you can cause the death of someone from how you cross-contaminate.
Exactly.
You want to fry the chicken in some oil, and then you want to fry fish and thing in the same oil. You want to use the same what they use, the thong. Yeah, to take up fish that you're using to take up chicken.
Or,
and that kind of thing.
Or pork.
Yeah.
It's not
cross-contamination. So these are some of the things that definitely we'll hear about in the training that's going on. I'm sure you'll hear about some of that. But also to inform you all that gastroenteritis, it's running amok right now. Yet there are quite a few cases. One of my sons is down with it as well. Wow. So gastroenteritis is on and it is around. And as such, you have to be extremely careful when buying food, especially at the side of the road. You have to be extremely careful. There are some people who sell food at the side of the road that are extremely careful, extremely clean, and so on, right? So there are people that, when you look at them and how they operate, how they carry themselves, and you see the food badge, and so you say, okay, I could trust this one. But you have to be careful with what you're putting into your body. You have to be careful with what you're eating, and so.
Very, very careful.
Gastroenteritis is around. You need to make sure that you're washing hands, especially when you use the bathroom and so on. Bus drivers, conductors, when these things going around, remember you guys are at the forefront. So you must have your hand sanitizer and so on. I always say that to bus drivers and conductors. Have your hand sanitizers, because you're collecting and you're handing money. You're collecting and you're handing money.
That exchange is so, yeah. And you know what?
If you don't wash your hands properly and you go and eat, brother, there's problems.
And then most of the persons who are preparing food and selling, the vendors and so, the population, the people are trusting you with their lives, right? With their health, right? So we expect you to do your best. And so, because I mean, you having somebody coming and eat from you every day, and so it's because they trust that you will give them the right food, clean food, your presentation, everything. And so bear that in mind, not just to make a money, but think of, I am putting my life and my family's life in your hand when I come by you to sit down and eat and have a good meal. All right. And another advice to all the vendors, all the different courses around. If I was a vendor, I will try to go in as much of the different places to get more, sensitized about the different things. You understand? Don't be afraid.
It's important.
Better, yeah.
And with the gastroenteritis outbreak that's taking place right now, it's important that we deal with that. All right, so we just thought, we're not saying don't buy food from people. We're definitely not telling you that.
No,
this is the way that some people make their living, and they send the children to school and so on. I mean, there are certain places that I eat at the side of the road. I eat different places, but there are certain places I ain't eating. I ain't going. I'm telling you straight, I don't eat in there. Yeah. But anyway, Devon, the young lady's with us this morning, with a SAS hat on.
Watch, I don't know, and that is you're doing it. You like get her inside the studio with SAS hat. This is a GBS stuff.
SAS hat inside Hard Talk studio. Nazim,
this is technical man. I don't cut this. I mean,
Nazim, you can't blur it.
Oh my God,
you can't blur the SAS. Yeah, you have a way you could blur that. Put up a logo across your head or something. Put up a logo across the head, man. Some kind of thing I will call. But yes, Ms. Romain, you're here to talk about something this morning with us. Tell us a little bit of what you're talking about today.
Yes.
Well, we're talking about the I Am campaign.
The
Young Leaders I Am campaign. We got the most outstanding young leader in the closing ceremony. We came third. Our project was mostly based on changing. You have to be the change, so someone could follow you to be the change as well. So we went around in two schools, REC and Methodist in Grenville. We gave REC a billboard. He had a hole so they could put their head in it. And he had some writings: I am the change, I am kind, I am respectful, I am determined, I am honest, I am loyal. So basically we did that so that when you put on the badge, they're showing someone that you want to be the change, you want to become this, you want to become a
So you're not depending on somebody else. You are the change.
You are the change. You have to be the change so someone can follow you. So we had some couple of projects. We made some badges. We sell them out. We got some good thing. We went on some of the radio station so to promote our our project, we made a library, not a big one, but a small one.
A library at SAS?
Yeah. And then we had they painted a wall in front of the school, right? And they had like bubbles, and they had on the bubbles they had I am the change, I am kind, loyal, whatever you are. So when you come inside, that's the first thing you see, and when you leave in the school, that's the last thing you see on the wall.
Has the program been having an effect thus far on some of the students and some of people in the community? Because this is not just the students, this is everybody in general. Has the I Am campaign started having any sort of effect on people yet? You've been seeing a little things here and there.
Well, yes. We had, with certain things we didn't get prepared because they had so much breakups in the school. But at the end of the day, right, we promote our project and we saw some changes from the students and people from the community. When we had a meeting at the school, we had a day that everyone could wear blue, right, to promote themselves. So we could wear blue shirt, blue ribbons, and everything.
So why it have to be blue?
Blue bloods.
Why
are you hating on blue? Leave blue alone. Oh gosh.
Blue bloods.
Exactly, blue bloods. You're hating on blue every time. What do you? Leave my school alone. You love your school. I love my school. Okay.
The neutral person. I've never went to any of them.
We have some money, right?
No, not yet.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Folks, you can call in 440-7377. That's 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101.
The I Am campaign, it's the Young Leaders program.
Yes, Young Leaders.
How many youth are involved in the Young Leaders program in the school? Roughly, you may not know the exact number, but roughly how much? It's entire form or it's...
No, it's from Form 3 to Form 4. So we had about 30 of us in it.
About 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in all the school was 10 to 11 schools that took part. Convent came first, and High came second, and we came third.
Wonderful.
And we got the most outstanding young leaders. That was Javan Andrew, and last year we got the same thing, just Karina Blash.
Wonderful. I think we have a caller on the line. Let's go to the phone line.
Yes. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all gentlemen doing?
Not too bad.
And the lady?
I hear you have a young lady there, but the thing is, I called just before I recognized that lady was on. But the phone rang and apparently you were putting her on, so things didn't make, the connection wasn't made.
No problem. I'll go ahead.
What exactly is that you're talking about with the lady?
Oh no, she's talking about the I Am program, what the young leaders of the St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School are doing. So the I Am program. Before that, we were talking about food sanitation and that kind of thing.
That's what tickled my mind, and that's what I called for.
No, you can talk about it. There's no problem.
And it is so much an interesting subject matter, particularly around this time of the year when so much people goes out and eat out. You know, because you go to so much functions and shows and whatever, that even if you normally would cook, you don't bother because you know people sell food in this kind of environment or in situation. And you couldn't emphasize it more, or you couldn't even say it better maybe, how you said it. Some people just don't understand the significance of these things. Where to the extent giving somebody something that they don't eat, or they tell you they're not eating. And sometimes it is done as a prank, you know.
Yeah, it could kill. It could
and
actually
you could kill somebody. So simple and easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you were saying that, my memory struck back on a story. A good friend of mine, a friend I had one time, told me that what happened, what they did actually, she and others did to a girl in school who was allergic to pepper. And they do something and get pepper in her system. And they had a laugh over it. While she was telling me the story, and that happened a lot of years ago. While she was telling me the story, I was so angry. Up to now, she don't have an idea I was angry. But then she was laughing, remembering the whole issue again, and laughing. And then she was excited, saying that the lady got so red because she was red skin already, and she got red now as blood. And then they were laughing at her. And the behavior that she described, the person was reacting or acting about. It's like the person got crazy. Wow. And that's the kind of situation you have with people. When they tell you they don't eat something, and you're trying to give them to eat for some kind of joke sake sometimes. You have people where they tell you, like for people, the Seventh Adventist people and so on, you might pass by people, and because people know that they don't eat pork, or they don't eat certain things, they do up the food in a way that they try to entice them with, and they give them to eat. Or people do that in general situations. And after they eat the food, you know what you just did there? You know that kind of a thing?
Yeah, make fun of it.
It's disgusting.
Not only that the thing is unprincipled, it is dangerous.
Yeah.
Besides the unprincipledness about it, it is very, very dangerous, and people don't understand that. Or so much people don't understand it. Somebody telling they're not eating something, keep away from it. I heard a story of a guy. If he enter, or a guy or a girl, I don't remember exactly what I'm saying it now. He don't have to eat the shellfish, He enter a room where they have crab or lobster, just in the environment. His skin starting to swell up. It's a serious issue.
I have a sister and a brother who are both allergic to seafood. They can't eat any seafood, crab, lobster, lambi. They could be in the room with it, but they dare not let it pass their lips.
But Sheldon and Devon, in the first place, the Almighty tells us that we shouldn't be eating these things. So people who get themselves eating it and they find it's okay for them, too bad for them. This other liver problem and kidney problem we have in this world is caused by these things, These things have serious poisons in them. You heard the doctor would tell you the level of cholesterol or the scientist, I should say, would tell you the level of cholesterol that is in these things and how dangerous they are to your health. We just learned that the Almighty who made them said to us thousands of years ago when He made us, do not eat these things. And these things are serious, serious issues. And people think that when you are Seventh Adventist or you're some religious person, you shouldn't be eating this thing. No, people in general should not be eating these things. And that high level of diabetes and cholesterol problem that people have in the system, artery blockage and so on, it's caused by all these things. And simple.
We have to be careful. And you see, in some cases, it's religious. People don't eat it. For instance, you may have people who ascribe to the Rastafarian faith who do not eat meat at all, or who do not eat certain types of meat, or who may not even eat fish. Some Rastafarians do not even eat fish.
Yeah.
Some eat fish and they don't eat meat. Some people may be, for instance, they may be Adventists, so they do not eat pork, they do not eat shellfish, that sort of thing. So some people, it may be religious. And you have some people that take this thing for a joke and just decide, well, what you are going to make him eat it? What you are going to make her eat
it? Get you to eat it.
And in other cases, it's even worse than that in other cases because it is actually an allergy that people have. You know, there are people that have allergies to chicken.
Yeah.
There are people that have allergies to chicken.
When I heard a lot of years ago that people have allergy to nuts, I was amazed. Nuts as a grain. People have allergic. A lot of people are allergic to nuts.
I told you I was on a flight, and the thing was so bad that they could not even. Sometimes, they bring like nuts and they give people and so on. Yeah. They dared not even pass it on the plane. Because if the person was in the area that the nuts is, they get a smell of the nut. That was it. That person would start to swell. So we have to be careful with that. And some of the people that are doing food preparation in Grenada, at some of the restaurants and so on as well, they need to be very, very, very careful with cross-contamination. It's a serious issue.
I read a story a lot of years ago when I used to have Reader's Digest around me all the time. I think it was Reader's Digest I saw it in. That they did a test with a guy who said, any time he's around wax, wax that he used to, from the bees and so on, he's allergic to it. There's a sense that comes onto him. Or his body sensitize it. Or senses. And they did an experiment. They locked wax in a cupboard or in a jar. And when he entered the room, he was able to tell them that there was wax in the room. There's a story I heard of a guy who lives in Tongle. If I drop a rum was to enter his system, if they don't get into the hospital on time, he's dead. Yeah. Just one drop of rum,
Yeah, so people are allergic to various things. People are allergic to various things, and we have to be understanding, and we have to be mature about that entire situation, because we can unwittingly cause the death of an individual by not carrying out proper protocols when preparing food. And in case of the people who think it's a prank or it's a joke or it's a funny thing that a guy can't eat shellfish, or he tell you he doesn't eat lamb, he doesn't eat this, and you give him. In fact, wait now, technical man can't go anywhere near seafood.
No,
like I said, around that time of the year, people buy food so much.
Shellfish.
It's something that is interesting that you brought it up that way this morning.
Yeah.
Very important.
Thank you so very much, my brother.
Well, Mr. Romain, we have to talk after today of that program, eh?
Yes.
I have to go back to my garden. I just come from the garden, but I'll talk to them because I think it's going so fast.
I see you doing some nice work in a certain place, but we go talk about that the next time.
No, it is.
All right, boss. Right. One love.
Be good, guys.
Yeah.
So,
morning again to the young lady.
Yes.
Good morning.
Listening.
All right.
Take care.
So the I Am program, the St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School. And one of the interesting things is that my brother before me was in the first ever group of young leaders in Trinidad. That would have been back in 19, you say I have to go in 19, I can't use start with a 2, I have to start with a 1. 1988, 1989, somewhere there. The very, very first group of young leaders that they had, he was one of the first ones. I was in about the third batch that they have, the third group of young leaders in Trinidad for the Young Leaders program. Yeah? We didn't win. We never win. No.
It's an excellent program, I think, within the school system. So you get the young ones involved and everything like that.
What has been involved in the I Am program taught you, though?
Well, especially leadership. It gave me a sense of how to, because we had two teachers came to talk to us about leadership based on the I Am campaign. How to be a leader. What a leader can do to help its surrounding. Right? What we could leader, we don't need to wait on certain people to do certain things, so we can follow them.
Wonderful. So that's some of what it has taught you. And so, what about how you've been going out into communities and so on, and you've been interacting with other students within the school and so?
Yes.
But who would have thought that she'd be brave to just come on the radio and just start to talk?
Yeah.
Like if she accustomed inside here?
Well, I was trying to prevent her from always make an excuse that she can't come, but I couldn't do it this morning.
So when you missing, she will take over?
Well, I mean, she
something kind of thing that happened,
Well, Isaiah is behind. Isaiah is the one that...
Folks,
that's
folks, Isaiah is another case. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Isaiah is another case. One of these days, Isaiah going to come.
Oh yeah, he's going to come. He's going to come.
Isaiah is a totally different case.
There's another issue she wanted to make known to the general public out there and to the police and so, right, concerning a traffic issue around there. So go right ahead.
Yeah, when I'm going to school on Canal Road, like the buses does never stop for no one to pass. If it's like a bunch of students, they will stop, but if it's like one or two, they won't stop. They can just rush.
And she talking about the canal.
Sorry when they bong somebody.
Yeah. And she talking about the canal junction, right around where the Jose tire, the junction to go up the telescope where you see all the school children, the buses dropping. So the traffic there is busy on a morning from around 7 o'clock to 8:30. It's hectic. So
they make a plea to the bus drivers. We know many of them are listening right now. Talk to them.
Yes.
Tell them straight up. Don't do that.
They'll never stop. The other time I was crossing and like the bus was just following me. I crossing and the bus walking with me. I was like, It's like, stopping. You know what they should do? Put a pedestrian crossing. Or have a police there between this time. Because and when rain falling, rain falling. Don't drop them on the road. Drop them where you could no shelter and them trying to run.
So they're dropping you all to the bottom of the hill because I know what you're talking about, that junction, because you can go back to
food.
Because buses coming from Paradise and Parklet, they have a bus stop. So you go drop them children there.
So they're dropping you all to the bottom and then you have to walk up, even if rain falling, you have to walk up the hill to go to... Come on, man. I sure I have one or two that might do it, but the rest of you all, help out the situation.
Some of them bus from Grenville, they will come up the hill and drop them children in the school and then come down the next hill. But they won't stop.
In fact, you know what? Don't drop them. Lead them, let them walk. Because you see, the walking up, they just build up the cashier, man. That's why they just do good in sports.
Yeah.
So we don't want to make them too lazy. But if rain falling, we don't want them get wet and get sick.
Yeah.
So if rain falling, drop them up the hill. Other than that, we letting them walk.
But,
right?
But you know, Sheldon.
Because you know what does annoy me, Devon? Without cutting it. Hold the thought. When I see students in tongue, Cammy, you could tell them we're lying. When I see students in tongue, take a bus to go up to convent.
Well, I'm just about to tell you, and then they're talking about the next convent, Grenville. Sheldon, there are children who lives in Budge Grove. Budge Grove, what you call Sab, Marybo. And they go into convent, right? They will come down with the bus, pass the gas station, that's the gap to go down to convent, go down to Grenville, pay the bus, and wait for the next bus to drop them in school.
But the buses went to drop them from Grenville to school, they take $1 from them now.
Busmen,
what is wrong with these children?
Make them walk, because you have to make them. Listen, this kind of lazy kind of thing. We have to make them walk. Make a look a walk. I look at tongue sometimes.
So what you gonna do?
No, but I look at tongue sometimes. You saw them just from the market to go up the hill
convent and
to go in convent.
They're taking the bus.
Listen, I used to walk from Springs to go down in Tamsis, you know. Yes, you had people like Martin and them. Sometimes you're in a hurry or rain falling and so on. You would jump on Martin or one of the other bus. Mr. Fitzroy, Sugar Bowl, or one of those guys that are passing. You had a guy, there's this Rasta guy that used to pass with a kind of orange bus every Daddy. They used to call him and some others, and so you jump a bus and you go down. But other than that, once the nice weather and so, I walking down from Springs and I walk down. Sometimes I walk up during lunchtime, organize something for my grandmother, go check on my animals and walk back down again.
Exactly.
So, I mean...
It's ridiculous, man. Watch, when I used to go GBSS, I live in Tempe. We used to walk from Tempe, go up Marcel and go down the lane to GBSS.
Yeah.
In the evening.
And that's an easy thing to do.
Well, an easy thing, we doing that in 15 minutes. In the evening, up, or we say hike, ride and thing, gonna be.
Yeah.
You understand? Get up, thing, go, or you walk, go up the lane and walk, go down. I mean, come on.
But if rain is falling, have a hat. You cannot leave, because you wouldn't like somebody leave your child down at the bottom of the hill with heavy rain falling. We're heading into the rainy season now. You wouldn't like somebody leave your child at the bottom of the road there and rain falling heavily. Bring them up, drop them up. It's not going to take too much out of you to drop them up the hill.
I understand. When you look in Tantin again and you see the amount of school children that will stay. I mean, it always will happen. But the amount of them that will stand up and wait for a bus just to go to town. I mean, a nice, cool walk across the carnage, enjoying the scenery and
my exercise every evening used to be to walk from Springs down to the market in town and walk back up. We used to walk that and see how fast we could do it. Me and a cousin of mine, we used to walk from Springs. You walk down, sometimes we pass through Belmont, sometimes you Stone Road thing, sometimes you pass through there, sometimes you go down through Paddock and so on. We used to walk down to Tongue and walk back up.
And the problem is
every evening.
And the problem is with these young people' health. They are not prepared to walk to go to school back and so. And they're driving and they look at their eating habits. They always have some sweet biscuit or some food that they're not supposed to eat.
Let me ask you, you the stone mango, you ever went on stone mango?
Yes.
Sorry, I forget who daughter.
Yeah, she has mango tree right there. It's not hers, but she has gone, you know.
It's she own. She doesn't make you say.
Well, forget Isaac. I had to pass and pick up a 2 mango every day and I go home just say it again.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing too. When you look, you realize that, and it's very unhealthy, that we're seeing a lot of our children, they're more onto the snacks. I'm guilty of it too, but we see a lot of our children onto the snacks. But the type of snacks is not like you go and you get a set of golden apple and you sit down with your golden apple and you cut it.
Nice.
Or you had the hard golden apple, you know, and you pelt it on the ground. I used to make it taste sweeter.
I mean, of course.
That
all the juice.
You buy that just so that it tastes good.
Green apple and salt.
Yeah, you have to pelt that.
Children these days don't.
They're not doing that.
They don't even step on the stone mango on the side of the road coming from school.
Nah, they ain't doing that. They ain't know anything about that.
They have the little 50 cents. They want the extra $1.50, so they're going straight to the shop. Sweet biscuit, corn chips, corn curls. These are things that they want to eat every day and it's not good for their health.
No, it's not.
Occasionally, yes, you can have a treat. And so, right, these days, Sheldon, you can take your sons into town or to Grenville without they watching the KFC cross-eye?
Yes.
We have to pass far.
Remember the 2 children I have.
Only had 2 boys.
Jamari would want to go. Jamari would yes, he would want to go, not Jamil.
Yeah.
Jamil ain't interested.
I mean, it's strange.
You put a KFC chicken in front of him just so and he watch that.
He watch it, yeah. And that's good. That's a good sign.
Sunny
But
face,
the average young child, from the time they reach around, they ask Mommy, I'm hungry. What do you want to eat?
KFC.
KFC. I mean, it's but I mean,
sometimes you ask the child, you say, you're hungry? No. As soon as they reach in town to see KFC, Mommy, I'm hungry.
We want to go and eat KFC. I mean, it's a way of.
And folks, Mr. Ross, we're not against you, right?
We're not against that.
Not against you. It's just that you used to be a treat at Christmas time.
Oh, definitely.
You used to be a treat at Carnival time. Now it's come like a daily thing for some people.
Exactly.
So, and no, they want to go and catch crayfish and all kind of thing again.
Yeah,
they want to go and catch crayfish in the river and make their own little cook and all kind of, or do as my grandmother. My grandmother said when she was small once, one of her sisters, they grab a scorpion to eat for a crayfish. Because you know the look of it. So they grab a scorpion and say this is a crayfish.
You see the tail, they look.
So 4407377. We're just having a chat here with Devon. What's your first name?
Anissa.
Anissa.
Yes.
Right, Anissa. So we're having a chat with Anissa. Devon's daughter is in studio with us today. All right, 4407377. Folks, remember tomorrow though, we'll be having the official opening of the new Parliament building. As such, we'll be broadcasting from that location. No, we won't be doing Hard Talk, but there will be a broadcast of the day's event. So we'll be having that streaming and so on. I'm trying to remember the time that it starts.
I think it starts at 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the time that it starts. There's going to be a 2-part ceremony. There'll be one section part. The official opening ceremony will take place on the outside. Her Excellency, the Governor General, will be there. Keisha, somebody tap Keisha. Keisha, give us a call.
Keisha, tap
so you could give us a rundown of exactly what will be taking place. Although, knowing Keisha, especially with that taking place tomorrow, and the Prime Minister just returning from that meeting in St. Lucia. Keisha, we know you're busy. Yeah. But if you get the opportunity, give us a call.
Yeah, we know you're on your feet and your fingers are moving all over. So but
let me shout out some security and them. G4S Security. Yeah, Amalgamated Security. Yeah, good morning to all of you. My good friend down there at Ariza. Good morning to you, sir. All right. Yeah.
Securities are the General Hospitals and Marybo and
Real Protection.
Real Protection.
Yeah.
And so good morning to all of you. Continue to serve the people best way possible.
My good friend down on Granans Beach there at the hotel, the security down there. Good morning to you, bro. I hope you're having a wonderful one. And the main security, the police.
Yeah. And some of the rural constables, especially my good friend down there at Granans. Yeah, you know who I'm talking to, my dear. Right? Yeah, all of you. And the police officers. They continue. And I know this season, as we've been talking about the health and safety, and so the police is preparing, right, to protect and serve during this festive time.
I think we have a caller on the line.
Good morning and welcome.
Yes, Devon. Morning to you. Morning, Sheldon.
Hey, good morning, Les.
Good morning.
Morning to all of you. As you speak about the Parliament building, I have a uncle. I call Uncle Nazim. I would like to see him there tomorrow, please. I would like to make sure that he is there. I know
call him,
uncle. All of us is one.
Call
so I want to make sure.
Call him, and I
know they would listen to the Hard Talk. So I want to make sure that Uncle Nazim there.
Oh, he's there.
And
he will be there.
All the others of his close family, I want to make sure that I want to see them tomorrow, please God.
Because it's a family thing. It's a family thing tomorrow.
It's a family thing.
Yes.
It's a national event.
Stay one side and he ain't come.
Yeah, no, it's a family thing.
I want him to come and represent me. I have a next cousin again. You know, I mean, she does have to be continuing Christmas time. Well, not Christmas yet, so I want her to show up.
Leslie, behave yourself today. Leslie,
represent me.
Leslie, behave. Leslie. Bye-bye, Leslie. Leslie, enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, my friend.
All right.
Leslie just like trouble. We have another call on the line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to everybody in the studio. More trouble now. Yesterday I had a laugh on Brenda program on GBN. The young fellow, the gentleman. And he was saying Uncle Tilly is still boss of NDC. I don't know if you heard that program yesterday.
I've got the recording.
This is why I'm confusing the dead.
We go play the recording.
I've got the recording.
All right, darling. Have a good day.
Girl, I didn't want to joke that yet. Oh, God, let Friday come. Let Friday come.
She let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, gosh, I had the recording.
Ooh.
I had the recording.
What a day. What's the plot? Them a plot against I and I.
Good morning to you, Honorable Tillman Thomas, former Prime Minister. You expect that he should be around tomorrow.
Thomas, yeah.
Mrs. Thomas, yeah. Folks, a traffic notice from the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. There will be a change in the traffic for the opening of Parliament tomorrow. Let me just tell you all what's happening, particularly those of you that travel along Lucas Street and for the Sans Souci area and so on. Let me just tell you all what's happening. No entry. Vehicular traffic will not be allowed to enter Lucas Street from its junction with Woolwich Road close to the Government House roundabout. So vehicular traffic will not be allowed to enter onto Lucas Street from its junction with Woolwich Road close to the Government House roundabout.
Yeah. Woolwich Road starts right around the big church and where the old
where you could pass to go onto the Archibald Avenue.
Archibald Avenue, that cross right there.
Down by where the old corn mill. For those of you who know the corn mill, yeah, the corn mill used to be right there.
It's still there, it's still there. And you have a music house. I think it's Seals Music.
Jerry Seals
place right there. From right there, the traffic will stop right there. You cannot go up.
Yeah, you might be able to go onto Woolwich Road, but you cannot enter up onto Lucas Street. There, that your vehicle will not be allowed to go up. All right. So it's going to be one-way traffic. Lucas Street will be one-way traffic for vehicles traveling from its junction with the Sans Souci public road in the direction towards Government House roundabout. So that's coming out from GBN Gap.
Yes, and they could be able to go one way.
Right, you could go up,
but not
you can't go down. So those of you GBN, when all you're coming, right? Brenda? Nice, the other Brenda. Yeah. Nice. When all you're coming out from GBN, anything coming out from GBN area, you can go up towards Government House, but you cannot go down. All right, so one-way traffic there. No parking. No parking. No parking will be allowed on the right side of Lucas Street from its junction with the Sans Souci public road to Government House roundabout in the direction of the Market Hill. That one confusing me.
No parking. Oh, okay. So then, in other words, there should be no parking around that Lucas Street area from the Market Hill come up to Woolwich Road because of the diversion.
Let me read it again.
Read it again, and we try to
on the right-hand side of Lucas Street from its junction with Sans Souci public road. So that's from GBN Gap.
Yes, from GBN Gap
to Government House roundabout. Government House roundabout is
up on the top.
Yeah, that is right outside there.
Yeah, that's right there.
In the direction of Market Hill. If you say from Government House roundabout heading down, okay, in other words, no parking between GBN Gap and Government House roundabout on the right hand side. No parking will be allowed there.
Okay, so that right hand side would be on the side of the Berean Church and school.
Yeah,
and
so no parking will be allowed there.
Okay.
All right, so folks, no parking. You know, some people park when they're going down to like Red Cross and so on. Yeah, no parking will be allowed in that direction. Also, they want you to note well, only members of the upper and lower houses of Parliament, along with the administrative staff of Parliament, will be allowed to park on the compound of the Parliament building. So, senators, MPs, parliamentary representatives, and the staff.
Clerks and so on.
Well, they would know that they are allowed to park. But it means that once you don't fall into those categories, you cannot park up there. No, not because you're a good friend with Minister so and so. You think you're going and park up by the Parliament building,
Security
right?
really tight.
I ain't even trying to go and park up there, right?
So we had right here. We could walk.
Yeah, we could walk across. Yeah, I feel like it's exactly what we could do. Yeah. So you cannot park on the Parliament building. Please do not think you can. Do not try to. Do not attempt to. Don't let the police have to tell you can't.
Exactly.
You cannot park up at the Parliament building. VIP parking. So the persons who are categorized as VIP, members of boards and directors of boards and these different sort of things, diplomatic people and so, VIP parking will be on one side of the concrete road on the Parliament compound that intersects with the road at Old Government House and also on the compound of the Old Government House. Old Government House, folks, is the ruins of Governor General residence. Yeah? So you'll be able to park in that area and then just make a little walk up to the Parliament building. All right? So VIP parking will be on one side of the concrete road on the Parliament compound. That's the road leading up to the Parliament compound that intersects with the road at the Old Government House and also on the compound of the Old Government House. Public parking for everyone else, will be on the left side of the audit building at Mount Welldale. That's
inside going in as you come on Lucas Street.
Well, they went and take out Maurice?
Yes.
Yeah, just say they went and take out.
Go and free Maurice Bishop.
Well, they went and take out Maurice.
Yes.
Yes, well, they went and free Maurice Bishop inside
there.
With Devon and them went inside there and take him out. Yeah.
The
left side, I could say Devon and them, he was one of them too.
Yeah, I'm free to see it. I was there too.
Duck when the BTR opened up, though. Anyway, left side of Lucas Street from its junction with Top Woolwich Road to its junction with Sans Souci Public Road in the direction of Market Hill. So you could park on the left side of Lucas Street from its junction, because remember it can't come up anyway, so it's only down you could go.
Yeah.
So you could park on the left-hand side from its junction with Woolwich Road to the junction with Sans Souci Public Road in the direction of Market Hill. And they keep saying direction of Market Hill, and again, confused each time they say that. Because I know Market Hill is down so.
Yeah.
But if you're talking from Woolwich Road to
his junction with
Sans Souci, they kind of flipping it in my mind.
Woolwich Road and Sans Souci is that little piece of road right there between the GBN Road.
SAS student, you're learning tongue today.
Right, the GBN Road and the Corn Mill. That little piece of road right there.
Yeah, so they could park the churches. There, yeah.
Yeah, that's the road they're talking about there.
Yeah, there will be Colin Sandy, you're looking up for me in trouble today. There will be police officers on site. Yeah, they will be directing and so on. But it's very important for you all to see what is going on. Yeah. I think we have a call online. Let's go to the
Good morning and welcome.
We ain't done with I am, eh?
Yeah. Right. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Devon.
Hey, boss. Good morning.
What's up, Kerry? What do you say, boy?
Yeah.
You know, I sit down here and you do something wrong, you know.
Tell me.
What we do?
A little bit, I said I go on to come with you tomorrow, please.
Trust
go on to come with you.
If you only know she come,
you go on to come tomorrow, please. But still bring him, man.
Oh yeah,
Definitely. Well, I know if you like a sister or big sister, but if sister could go there, I could go there too.
Yes.
You understand?
So how you doing?
All right, yeah.
How you doing? Everything all right?
Curtis gone.
Curtis gone. Curtis on still long. Curtis, good morning to you, brother. I hope you're doing fine.
Blossom is saying that she works for G4S in London. Wonderful. My uncle also worked for G4S in London. Wow. He was one of the early officers with G4S. Yeah. So that's a wonderful company actually. Yeah. So G4S officers, special good morning to each and every one of you. Right? What are some of the issues that you're a teenager? What are some of the issues that you find some of your fellow classmates and other, don't necessarily be in your school, but some of the friends in your area? And what are some of the issues you find children talking about these days? No World Cup. What are some of the issues children talking about?
Oh, I don't know that. I don't really listen to the children.
You're reading? You're too busy reading?
Yeah, I don't listen to them. Mostly, it's like around exam time. So they can't wait for exam to done. Can't wait for carnival season to open. So that is mostly the talk right now in the school.
What tune and who butterfly and all that kind of thing.
Exactly. Who can't wait for exam to done and
but generally, how you find the preparation and so of the students in SAS for exams and so? Or you find that they took the preparation, for exams?
Well, some of the exams, based on how they put them, like the clashes, we have an exam in the morning, exam in the afternoon. Based on how, some, like for me, I had maths and Spanish on the same day. Maths was, well, it kind of break my heart. And then Spanish break it more. Yeah.
But that's sad for maths to break your heart and Spanish to break it even more. But these two subjects are two key subjects. That
was my two subjects that used to give me problems too.
But she
when I realized I know Spanish, when I go to Spanish country and I hear them talking and I know what they're saying. It comes after. But the good thing is to know that you have that issue with it so that you work extra hard on those two areas. So now I need to focus harder on maths and harder on Spanish and so on, and you'll get it.
And these are two subjects that she have to. Well, not her. I can dictate until she have to, but I would love to see her, obtain these two based on what she wants to do. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you all doing?
Good.
We're fine.
Everybody good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I heard you talking about the traffic fine in the morning, please, God. If you take a bus to the bus terminus, do we drive straight up Lucas Street to drop by the bus stop just before the old Parliament Gap?
No, you would not be able. The buses would have to use alternative routes because they won't be
going through. When you reach by the old Carmel, going through Archibald Avenue.
It's gonna go through there.
Yeah.
It would not be able to continue up Lucas Street. That's just for the period that is happening tomorrow.
I know. Which is the closest point to there then?
You could take it right at the corn mill there, and you'd have to walk up from the corn mill.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you take the bottom gap where the big signboard is.
Yes.
Right.
You pass
there.
there.
Walking. That's the entrance of the new Parliament building.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the other thing, I think, if the bus is coming up, if the bus driver is smart and he's bringing a load of people to there, what you do is pass through San Souci. Because if you pass through San Souci, then you can go up.
Still shorter for you to go up.
You're dropping right in the Parliament Gap.
Okay.
So if they pass on the River Road, come up through San Souci, they can drop you in the gap right there in it because they could go up, but they can't come down towards the corn mill. They could go up.
Yeah, they can, but most of the buses may not want to take that chance because of the steepness of the road.
That San Souci road is
and the load that they might be carrying.
Yeah.
So your best bet is around the corn mill coming from St. George's, or if you're coming from the St. Paul's direction, you will drop right on the roundabout.
Okay.
Right there and just walk in. Okay,
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
And I also suspect too, most of the buses coming from St. Paul's around that time, it's a one-way traffic going down, right? Or the entire road will be closed from the junction with the roundabout to the corn mill.
I got to read that thing again because
we need to.
Slightly confusing me.
Because I'm wondering buses coming from the St. Paul's direction, right? Whether they can go down the Lucas Street on a one-way traffic, or they'll have to go down to go down to Woolwich Road, right, and then exit either by the same corn mill to go continue down Lucas Street, or go down the lane. I don't know. I wish we can have some clarity if it's possible, because
I'm hoping
someone may still want to know.
It's folks, it's 7 minutes after the hour of 11. 7 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. Hey, and this morning though, Devon, just a little aside here. I realized Dum take up this kind of thing, like in life, not I know about that part. You might have listened more than me.
Yeah, I listen.
But these people are so desperate to try and give the impression that they are in charge of something or they're doing something. Now, a little bit of rainfall yesterday, a little bit more rain is expected in and between. And all of a sudden, knowing full well, government already said that soon you'll be sending out the bushing people. Yeah. They're jumping in front now and say, well, some rainfall, send out the bushing people now. How much rainfall to make grass grow for the bushes and things? We don't even have the guys that has got grass up here, last you see them.
I see them.
Because there was no need for them.
When the last time I believe I see them, I think it was April,
Yeah, these guys, there's no need for it. But pretty soon we'll have the bushes coming out because there are different areas that have to be addressed, and we don't want the busmen and them give them SAS children no trouble when they're passing too. Yeah. So very soon you will have the bushing program. I don't know the specific date, but it will be starting very soon. Right? What Dum and them try to do now? Go out and say, get the people at the bushing work, get the people at the bushing work. So when you see people come out and the bushing next week, they'll say, see, we come out and we make them bring out the people for the bushing. That, I mean, it's so pitiful, man.
Good morning, Devon. Good morning,
so
Sheldon.
Good
morning, my friend.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Abir?
Congratulations.
Okay, all right.
Devon, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
I spoke to Devon what it was, Sheldon. I tell him where we beating South. Alright? And what about Brother Devon? We were handicapped, We were handicapped because our strike bowler
he was absent.
Was not able to play. Our leader, our parliamentary, Dr. Mitchell.
Of course.
I know he had called some on team for 50 love.
Oh, look at the actual postponement.
And he was not there, so we lost the match because of that.
Oh, look at the actual postponement.
Yeah, next time, we will be there, we'll be Sheldon again. So Sheldon, I will support you all to the final.
Jab no habla español.
The men and women of steel destroy all you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll hold him again, man.
Yeah, because we know
all the parliament looking very nice.
Yes, man.
The road, the road. And they're looking very excited for tomorrow, please, guys.
Let me ask.
I will be there.
My boss, so hello, hold on, before you go. You remember the name Modest in Camp Boney? You remember a person by the name of Modest in Camp Boney? Modest. On Camp Boney. When he was on Camp Boney?
Camp Boney. Oh, I heard about that name after that. That's somebody who get killed.
No, a living person.
A living.
I told you. We go talk.
Name, but I know the person.
You know the person too much. We go talk after. Think back. We go talk after.
Okay.
All right,
my brother. All
right, my friend.
Yeah, but
Deepo is asking if the tourist choo-choo train will be available to bring senior citizens, not people.
You know, that's actually a very good idea.
Yeah.
It's actually a very
senior
good idea.
Citizens who may want to be part of the entire thing. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. I just want to ask one little question.
Sure.
I just wake up, so I don't know if, I just joined the program. So I don't know if you address that. Are there going to be a couple days or so of, how you call it, an open day where the public could go and view the Parliament building?
I've just sent a message to the press secretary for us to call us so that we could get some clarification on some aspects of those things.
All right.
Because I am not sure.
Okay. Then.
All right, my dear.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
And madam, right now it's time for you. If you want to wake up this hour and all that, you work for that already.
Yes,
I know who talking there. You work for that.
You can sleep until 1 if you want.
Yeah, I think we have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Sheldon?
Yes, sir.
I'm Modest from Granville over there?
Yes, man.
Yes, I know Modest, man.
All right.
I do that. We got here clearly, eh?
Okay.
I was on there when he was in camp with us.
Okay.
All right,
beautiful, man.
One love. Camboni.
You know South St. George do to Northwest. Yeah, South St. George do that to
butterfly.
Oh God.
Real bat fly boy, 6'4".
Butterfly all over the place.
Real fly. Look how I can't go in Northwest again.
You can't pass up there. You're trying to talk. Oh my God.
Just so I can go back in Northwest. Good morning, Prime Minister.
I like the men treading needle on Lord. No, Northwest, no. And they boasting all around, eh? They say the steel, real steel they get. And boy, it's a sad day. It's a sad day. And so,
Honorable Nicholas Steele, good morning to you, sir.
But you see, Northwest, all your fault. All you have to ask for postponement. You understand? You know the strike bowler and batsman is not there, right? But you still, I mean, come on.
Real bat fly.
Yeah.
Real bat fly.
Real fly on that day.
Butterfly in truth.
That one is personal, eh? Doc, I know Doc ain't taking that. That one is personal.
But you know, there's more cricket this weekend, and you see I kind of turning because I'm looking for the paper with the matches. But there's more cricket that's going to be taking place this weekend. That's not it. Cousin Dongan, bring the thing for me. Yeah. I don't know what I've done with the match fixtures. I had it somewhere here. I think this is it. That's not it either. Yeah, but there are matches. I know one is in Carriacou.
Yeah.
This weekend it's going to be Carriacou versus St. John.
St. John.
So that's going to be taking place in Carriacou. Also, folks, there's going to be that wonderful get together up there in Carriacou over the weekend for the Honorable Elvin Nimrod for his contribution. Wow. So the various MPs, they're going to go up there and they're going to be meeting with the Honorable Elvin Nimrod.
Wow, that would be a wonderful function. Yeah.
Baba, what you and Jamari doing up there? Chantal, morning. Yeah, I don't know, Baba. Baba, behave yourself up there. Nice, right, nice. Jamari, behave, eh? Nice, right. No, it's to tell the children behave. No bat, no fly up there. No butterfly. Right? Behave, no fly. Right, no butterfly up there.
Can't nearly tread the needle.
Yeah.
I tell you, we are exceptional in our culture.
Denise is saying something on the live there. She's saying she thinks that the traffic department meant to say Morass Hill and not Market Hill, and I think she's correct.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I think you're actually correct, Denise. I think what was supposed to have been in that was Morass Hill and not Market Hill. I think you're correct.
It's possible. Because we're trying to figure it out how that can work. But hey, you know what?
Yeah, because in our mind, it's in the reverse of how it should be.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the right thing. I thought we do have a call on.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning to
morning,
you,
Doc.
Everyone. Morning, young lady.
Morning.
That's your Doc.
Gentlemen, I just wish to piggyback on your last contribution there. Tomorrow's activity is historic, you know, and I just beg that my fellow Grenadian brothers and sisters, for us to be at our best behavior. I think in celebration of this third whitewash electoral victory, I think it has been noted throughout the region. I expect there will be quite a few regional personalities, dignitaries, in to share that moment with us. And I think it will only be courteous that we allow our government and national officials to, afford the best arrangement for these persons. I expect to be sitting out there on the tent and taking in the activities myself among my brothers, sister brother, and brother Grenadians, and I hope, I expect that every one of us, will, show the rest of the region discipline and good behavior, P's and Q's.
Thank you so very much for that. All right. Thank you so very much.
In that sense, I pray that a day or another occasion be afforded the people so that they may visit the facility and be able to appreciate what has been done on our behalf. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think Depot's suggestion of the train being used as a means of shuttling people to and from the location is an excellent one. I will call Mr. Speaker and all.
Yeah.
I've been trying to call on the sidelines. They're trying to call the press secretary, and I realize that she can't answer the phone. So I know that means she's in a meeting, either regarding Prime Minister would have just attended the OECS Heads of Government meeting in St. Lucia. He would be back now. In fact, I believe that there is a meeting this evening along with the Honorable Peter David and the Honorable Tobias Clement. I can't remember the exact location.
Yes,
it's a youth vibe meeting. There are actually two for this week, but I can't remember the location. Folks, when you're putting up them thing, tag me in it.
I saw that information somewhere.
Yeah, tag me in it.
I don't know. It's three of them. Yeah, Prime Minister.
Okay, yeah, it's at the Wesley College.
Yes.
It's going to be taking place this evening. So, Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, together with the Honorable Peter David and the Honorable Tobias Clement. It'll be starting at 4:30 at the Wesley College. So, youth, you can head on out to that meeting. You dress casual, and it's along with the Honorable Kate Lewis. That's our Minister of Youth. Yeah. So it's the Parish Youth Forum. So you have the Honorable Kate Lewis, you have the Honorable Peter David, the Honorable Tobias Clement, together with Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, and that'll be taking place at 4:30 at the Wesley College this afternoon. All right. So we're looking forward to seeing you all there.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi. Your live caller.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
I just want to give you some observation I made after the general election. I want to stay too low, and I want to put some nail in the coffin while it's early. Sheldon, I passed by the ministerial complex, and what I saw, Sheldon, it is heart-rending to see how Grenadians think. Sheldon, if you happen to go by the ministerial complex by 4 o'clock, you'll see everybody leaving that place. So what time they finish do what they had to do? 2:45, 3:30 to leave in the place 4 o'clock. Nobody is willing to sacrifice 1 minute more than what they should. Nobody's willing to sacrifice nothing. All they want is money. And by 4 o'clock, they out. A wash of people just coming out. The buses just time these people and reach there for 4 o'clock on the dot. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand how Grenadian things. They reach into work 8:30 and they want to leave 4 o'clock on the dot. Nobody's checking on that.
Caller, before you go further, in all fairness, let me say that we cannot paint with a broad brush when we're saying that there are many, having been working within ministries and having been in charge of ministries, I can tell you that there are a lot, in fact, majority, very, very hard-working persons in the public service who are there. I could tell you that I used to get to the complex sometime at 7 a.m. and there are certain workers that are at the complex at 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. you realize that these same people who got there 7 a.m. are still at their station completing work. Yeah, so we can't paint with too much of a broad brush, but I agree with what you're saying.
I'm talking in general.
Happen.
I'm not saying people, but I'm talking in general. Because you see, Sheldon, we had to think and think harder.
Yes.
You understand? Our next one, let me leave that one day now. Our next one, Claudette Joseph made a statement on all of us, including myself, find she was fast and out of place. That NNP people is needy and greedy. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to take out the needy and I'm going to put covetous and greedy. You know why? Sheldon, I'm going to meet you and I'm going to talk to you seriously. We have to change that. That is something we have to change. And we have to change it very fast. Very, very, very fast we have to change it. And if you know who is speaking, you know straight up and not just trying to fabricate something. We have to change our attitude in this place.
But again, what she did is she painted with a very broad brush. And if we say NNP people in general, again, you're painting with a broad brush because you included me too.
Well, I included Sheldon. I'm not singling out nobody. You mightn't be doing it in the public, but behind closed door, you're doing it. If you understand what I'm saying. But we have to be careful with what we're doing. Sheldon, we don't want to share. We don't want to give nothing. We don't want to help people. All we want is we. Everything we study is we. Sheldon, we have to stop at that. Otherwise, we're going to put ourselves in bad standing with people.
Okay. All right, my brother.
Okay.
All right, thank you so very much.
Thanks for your contribution.
Now, I'll say this, I tend to try not to paint with a broad brush. I know of public workers who are every single day at the ministerial complex at 7 a.m. And it's have a group of them, like it's a race between them to see who go reach first this morning. They're there at 7. They take their normal lunch as everybody else, and they leave there sometimes an hour, 2 hours late. There are workers who actually were leaving the ministerial complex 6 and 7 in the night and so on. So there are some that work extremely hard. I think what has to happen is like the process during the revolution of emulation of people who are doing an excellent job. But also, we need to deal with the people who are doing exactly what the caller says. The ones who know they're supposed to reach at 8 a.m. and who arrive at work 9:30. And then when they get there 9:30, they have to talk about what show on Empire last night. What Taraji say, and then they have to go to Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds had a good episode. And all of these things. Vaughn, what going on, man? We ain't seen you at all, boy. You give me up.
I can give you up.
Your phone gone through?
No, I was off for a little while.
You was off for a little while?
Yeah, I was off for a little while.
Yeah, folks, Vaughn just peeping in the studio with us this morning.
Yes. Everything good otherwise?
Yes, man.
Yes, I to pass by because I want to organize a cleanup campaign.
Yeah, but so definitely in that.
I'll go pass and check you.
Give me a call as soon as the program done too now because I have to tell you about something.
Okay, wonderful.
Wonderful. You see that hard talking, we door open. Right. And man like Vaughn always welcome inside here.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, just come out and take Nick's donut up by the Parliament building to see it and take a picture with him. So you're good to go.
Oh, good. Thing happening. Thing happening.
So we organize it.
He could donate donuts for the security forces. Tell him we ain't worried with the parliamentarians. You see the police officers and them not working and thing?
Yes.
He could make a donation of donuts and thing for them and different things. Set up them for us nice.
I'm going to talk to him about it.
You see the officers set up my officers nice.
And just tell him hard talk.
Hard talk. Tell him hard talk.
See is that all the big officers, senior officers of the inspecting everything and make sure everything is okay.
Yes,
and
man.
That is great.
The guys doing their job.
You understand?
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, Vaughn.
Okay, take care.
All right, brother. Yeah, that's our good friend Vaughn. He just making a little pass cross and thing. He must peep in on hard talk and check us.
That's hard talk.
That's how we just drop it. Isaiah coming just now, but that's how we just drop it.
Careful what you wish for.
Folks, the phone lines are still open. 440-7377 and
347-329-3101.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just an absolutely wonderful one. Yes, indeed. And so again, good morning to all of you on the live. Another issue I just want, we're throwing out real issues today, believe me. Another one, because I've been getting it from some of you via WhatsApp, and I don't know what language to say it in again, because Jabdo habla Espanol, Jabdo habla François, or Francais, or whatever they call it. I don't speak Swahili. I could only give out 1 or 2 words in a Yoruba or Ashanti, and my Temne and Igbo is very bad. I can't speak much of it. But I'll tell you this. Stop sending these links via WhatsApp. Stop sending these links and stop clicking on them. Then you're wondering why all your personal information and conversation ends up in strangers' hands. There's one going around right now about Caribbean Airlines offering free flights and free tickets. Listen, if it seems too good to be true, it is. Caribbean Airlines would not send a message via WhatsApp to everybody telling them about free tickets. The company has put out a press release to let people know that it is fake. When you click on it, the individuals, for instance, some of us do on banking via your phone, where you have your password for your account and everything. You're actually giving that to somebody. When you click on these things, they can now access your account. I mean, if it ain't nothing in it, you have nothing to worry about, because most they could do is put something in it. But if you have some money in there, you could realize that your money gone and then you want to blame the bank. No, blame yourself. When you click on these links, you are automatically giving all of your information to a person that could be right here in Grenada or some other part of the world, be it in China or Iran or wherever. And that person can then access, they can have all your photos, all your videos, all your conversations, access to all your accounts, your banking information. They can get all of that by you just clicking on that link. Yes?
Careful,
so if you've done so, it's time to change passwords. Yeah, if you've done so, it's time to change passwords and so. But please, people send stuff to me all the time. I just delete it. Though anytime you send anything with any link, I'm going to delete it. I'm not going to. Oh, I don't care who you are.
I have no idea.
I'm not going to open it. So please, folks, stop doing that. Secondly, as we're on social media, and I hear you say yes, the Caribbean Airlines. That means you get it too. So a lot of the younger ones sending it around to each other too. So it is affecting. And then there's the other one, that there are several fake profiles in the name of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Dr. Mitchell or Keith Mitchell on Facebook and on Instagram. And especially on Instagram because there's no reporting.
Not only Keith Mitchell. You have one with Nazim Bob, 2 months almost.
Fake one, and they're messaging people and telling them about a United Nations fund. Yeah, so folks, do not be taken in by these things. Because there are still people who are losing money under these things. They're still sending money to many of these things. We have a caller online though.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning, my friend.
I'm calling from St. Jules Street.
Yes, sir.
And then up Williamson Road, you have a piece of wall that's very, very dangerous. When the rain start to fall after the sun had happened to beat up the ground and the rain start to fall, they will never could tell what could happen. I don't know if folks could come and have a look at it and what have to be done. Do it.
Okay.
That is up Williamson Road.
Williamson Road.
Yeah, St. Jules Street, Williamson Road.
Okay, I know which part, yeah.
All right, friend.
Okay, good. Yeah. I know what the wall is, but I know what you're talking about. So, definitely. Richie, send your team. All right? Also, folks, for those of you who are suffering from various, like asthma, sinus, and that sort of thing, there is, we're having the rain now, but there is scheduled for early next week, starting over the weekend into early next week, there's going to be an inundation of Sahara Desert dust again, especially in the area of Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. There is going to be a serious inundation of Sahara Desert dust. If you, your child, or one of your loved ones is suffering from asthma, sinus, or any respiratory illness, please take your precautions, meaning walk with your medication. If you could avoid having to go outside as much as possible, avoid it. Yeah? During that period of time, because it's expected to be one of the thicker flows of the dust in our area. It does cause people with asthma to have problems and so on, and it affects a lot of people with respiratory illnesses negatively. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Popo, you're listening to the radio in the background. Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, you are there? Okay.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm multitasking, but when it comes to you, I have to do one thing. Good program as usual. Devon, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, my friend.
And good morning to you all listening audience.
Before you go, do you have my cup of bitter tea?
Zebra Pig.
Oh, Zebra Pig, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you and Sheldon face is always on the cups of these of these people. Now, Sheldon, yes, we have to emulate workers. And yes, we have a lot of good workers working in the environment in which we're talking about. My question is, so why are we letting a few contaminate the good deeds of the many? That is a problem I have in. No, the other thing is this, I mean, I work for most of my life I work for private enterprise. And when you go to work, from the time you have been employed, they give you a job description. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what you have to do. You know what time you make. You know what time you have to leave. So why this things. What is the gentleman talk about the people living early. What, and that's a good. I would not have raised it, but the fact that he raised it, I can comment on it.
There's nothing.
That's
It's a good point he raised. No, it's a good point he raised. It happens.
No, so that leads me to my original point here. Now, I want to call on the government, Dr. Mitchell's government. We gave you 15 back to back. It means that you have an unprecedented mandate to drain the swamp. According to Donald Trump, I must take the line from him. We must drain the swamp. We cannot be working to rectify the issue of pension and other things for this country for the same people that is not working in the best interest of the country. There are people that is qualified academically, but they are not good managers. So many of the steps the government is taking today to rectify our economic and financial situation could be in vain. Why? Because the same old unproductive managers and supervisors remains in place. That can't be. We must drain the swamp. People, the Prime Minister make it clear that within the public service, people can be moved around. Legally, legitimately, as I like to say. We must move. We have to move some people around. Because, listen, my problem is this, Devon and Sheldon. If the ordinary man is seeing it, if that is the observation of the ordinary man, how come that those who are being tasked with this responsibility is not seeing it? We have to drain the swamp, and we cannot wait too long. There are people that is not interested in Grenada going forward and Grenada being productive. They will like to see stalemate. They will like to see things not moving in a positive and productive direction. And people like that, we have to sort them out. We have to identify them, move them, take them out in St. George's, put them in Guelph. Take them out in Guelph, put them in Grenville. Take them out in Grenville, put them in Grenans. We have to do these things and let these folks and them realize that, listen, you have a job, we are paying you, and you must be productive and working in the best interest of Grenada and the Grenadian people. Brothers and sisters in the Northwest constituency and the wider world at hand, have a pleasant day.
Wonderful day, my friend.
Now, we have a youngster in studio with us, and we have several issues and so that have been happening around with young people and so on. And she's been complaining about that particular one with the buses and so on, and when it's going up to the SAS and so on, they're dropping all at the bottom in the rain and that sort of thing. So maybe they need to protest, next thing they protest.
Yeah, I mean,
next thing all they protest,
the students.
Yeah,
some of the students just had to just not take the buses, right? They're affected, or you ask permission from the principal and so and say, look, I'm well organized, and you are a young leader. You can start and go to the principal, a group of you, and say, look, we having a problem and we willing to take some action. Would you give us the permission and your guidance to do something about the situation?
Me and Devon is ready people to take advice from him.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you notify us. But it's a good way to have that sort of interaction with the thing. Or even a group of you, right? Young leaders, just a suggestion, young leaders, let's say 3-4 of you, go to some of the different busmen as young persons and have a chat with them. I mean, most of them don't have associations, but you know of the buses. There are not plenty of them. You meet them individually. You go as a group, representing the students and so on. Have a discussion.
Let's hear from you, though.
Yeah.
What else affecting you all apart from the buses and that's the only thing with buses that do that stress all you out?
No, the buses in town too. Well, Saturdays. Every Saturday I have classes in St. George's Convent, and they are abusing my money. They gonna look a short girl like me and take $6 from me.
So they're taking an adult
fee.
But isn't that illegal?
It is. It's supposed to be. I can't understand, and there must be no argument or justification for that.
But what I'm saying, school goes or not, school child fees are school child fees.
Exactly.
$4 is supposed to be taken from Grenville to down.
Mm-hmm.
And they normally take $5 from me. So I want to know why.
No, I can understand if they say, and I think some may have that. In school uniform, you pay $4 or $4.50, and without school uniform, you pay $5. But to pay same fee like the adult, that's it don't make sense. It can't. I mean, and it's not going on well with a lot of the young people. You hear them coming. You know what? Some of the young people, Sheldon, I'm in an institution where be with young boys and so, and they will want to change their monies in 25 cents and dollars and so just to give, because when they give the bossmen $5, they're taking what they want, and they're not, and that's not going on good.
That is a genuine concern, and you see, some of us may not see it, but for youngsters, especially when they need that money importantly to do other little things,
it's a big issue.
It's a concern. We have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sheldon. Good
morning. Good morning.
Morning, Kish Kish. Hey, no, good morning. It's three of us in studio this morning.
Yes, it's three of us.
Yes, so good morning to the young lady. I only caught the tail end of the conversation.
Yes.
So I wasn't quite sure.
Yes, Devon's daughter is here with us today.
Okay, Devon.
Taking training.
You've done well.
Oh. Thank you.
Because I heard her making the point about the busmen and stairs, and I thought, okay, very insightful.
Yeah, and it's something that
we don't always see.
And that's the thing, we may not pick it up, but as a student, she's picking it up, and it's unfair to them. It has to be addressed. Yeah, but Kish,
awesome.
Let's dive directly into it. Prime Minister just back from the OECS heads of government.
He's actually not back yet. He gets back this evening, this afternoon. Comes in just around 3 something.
And he has the meeting as soon as he comes in. He has that meeting at Wesley College.
Yes, he has meetings this afternoon. Not just at Wesley College. He has several other meetings prior to that.
Oh goodness! Oh God, Kisha space demanding out now.
Right? Yes, there's never any rest. He would have left here since Saturday to attend the OECS, the 65th meeting of the OECS Authority in St. Lucia. I spoke with him several times throughout. They would have discussed, issues to do with, of course, climate change and border security and all of that. They had a particularly stirring presentation from Prime Minister Mia Mottley, who was invited, or specially invited as a guest, to brief the gathering. So I think it was a very, according to him, it was a very productive 3 days or 2 days. The conference would have happened, Monday and yesterday. So I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about that on his return.
Yes.
And like I said, it's been a very busy period because even while he was gone, the local organizing committee here, led by the permanent secretary in Prime Minister's ministry, T.S. Logie, Bagwan Logie, would have been working around the clock to ensure, together in conjunction with the Office of Parliament, to ensure that we get everything ready for tomorrow's big opening of the Parliament building. So that has been the focus here for the last week and a half. The Ministry of Works, their team too has been working around the clock, clearing bushes, patching the road areas, doing all the little finishing touches on the building itself and the yard to ensure that everything is ready by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, because we know all roads lead up that hill.
We go take it from 6.
Welldale.
We go take it from 6 in the morning. We don't want nobody around doing nothing. 9:30,
you get
9:45. No, we want them to complete what they're doing by 6 a.m. because we don't want nobody humbugging us when we put on a nice suit and we pass it.
Everybody was given a mandate to complete what they had to do by this evening. The only people who were supposed to be doing any sort of work in the morning are the caterers, and so it's setting up the refreshments, and of course, the committee as we do little run-around things in the morning. But outside of that, all the big stuff is done today. Tents are all will be set up in the yard. The infrastructure is laid down as it relates to the broadcast, because it will be coming live online and on TV, GIS. I imagine you will probably carry it as well.
It's starting at what time? 9 or 10?
It starts at 10.
10.
So there are two things happening tomorrow.
Good. So no hard talk. That is hard talk.
Yes, because it's about a 2-hour program. If you think when you join both elements.
Yes.
So tomorrow morning at 10, after the public has gathered, and so there is an opening ceremony that's taking place in the yard outside of the building. Nothing will be happening in the building yet because, of course, it's not yet Parliament until it's opened. So there's an opening ceremony that takes place in the yard. At that particular ceremony, we will see the order of proceedings is very similar to what we'd find in any type of ceremony such as this. So we'll have, of course, a chairman. We'll do the anthem and all of that stuff. Of course, there's a police band that will be helping to facilitate some of this. Then we have welcome remarks by the parliamentary representative of the Tongue of St. George, because, of course, the Parliament building is in St. George's. We will get a project overview by UNOPS. That's the UN agency that was tasked with helping to complete this facility. Then we'll hear from the donors. We'll hear from the donors will include representatives from the UAE and Mexico. I believe Australia is sending a representative as well, but I'm not sure they're getting here on time for the actual ceremony.
Australia?
They would have only indicated that yesterday. So whoever is coming to represent them, most likely the representatives would be in the form of ambassadors.
But let me ask Keisha, Australia sending to say sorry?
No, remember we would have already... by the time Australia pulled out with their funding, we would have already used, I think it's 400,000 or 500,000 of it. So you do have to give them credit.
Yeah, we go say
for
thanks
that
to
initial part of it before the government changed.
Yeah.
So we would have used, a little bit of it of what they originally promised. Yes. So of course, you have to invite them, and we are grateful that we got that full tranche. Yes, so you'd have Australia, Mexico, UAE will speak. Like I said, if Australia makes it in time. And then you'd hear from the Minister of Works on behalf of the Ministry of Works, because we know it's under the auspices of the Ministry of Works this project and any other infrastructure project in the country really takes place. And of course, we'd wrap that up with a feature address by Prime Minister. Upon completion of this, he will then unveil the donor's plaque, and then you'll see the blessing of the building. And then, once this is over, the VVIPs, because the chamber of the Parliament cannot accommodate more than 186 people. So the VVIPs, in precedence order, will be escorted into the chamber of the building. They'll be seated and all of that. And then the Governor General will arrive, and she will do the blessing of the guard of honor. She will do, just as she does for Parliament, the ceremonial opening of Parliament. She'll do the inspecting of the guards and all of that. So the public will get to see that happening outside, as well as a screen, right? There'll be a big screen outside to show what's happening inside the chambers. So once that is done, the Governor General proceeds to the chambers, and then there is a very short ceremony in there that includes a proclamation, now declaring it the Parliament of Grenada. And then the Governor General will do a very short address. And pretty much that wraps it up.
All right.
So the event inside the chamber should be no more than about 20 minutes. That's what it's targeted for. The actual opening ceremony, which is the big thing that everybody is going for, is that first part. That should be about an hour and a half or so.
Any culture?
And yes, there is the school's orchestra, I think, is
you're in the schools? You're in the school's orchestra?
Of course, we have the police band as well that will be giving us intermittently. We'll get some music from there.
Wonderful. Are any heads of government, heads of state likely to be here? I know it's a busy time for most of them. They come out from OECS.
That's the point.
And they're heading to...
CARICOM is what, in a week a week or so. Yes, Prime Minister Rowley, I know you'll be happy to know that, the Prime Minister of Trinidad, he is actually getting here today.
Me and he go link up later, man. Tell him we go make a lime. We go make a lime.
We go make a lime.
Me and he go make a lime later.
Yes, well, he is coming today. he has some other stuff that he's going to be doing around the country. We know the CARICOM Secretary General for sure is also coming. He's getting here tomorrow. And the OECS Director General is supposed to confirm within the hour that he will be there. For several of them, it has been a slight consideration. Our own, for example, our own governor, son of the soil, governor of the ECT, Timothy Antoine, he wanted to desperately to be here, but he was scheduled to be in London at the time. And he tried his best to see if there was some way he could get to Grenada and leave from Grenada to be in London. He has to be in Switzerland by Friday morning. By Friday, sorry. So he was trying to see if there was some way he could swing this. And ultimately it didn't work out because, again, I don't think there are any flights for London and then on Thursdays from Grenada, and the connection to Barbados was too steep. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So he really did try. So nothing yet. Nothing from him, sorry. But he did, of course, send his regards and his regrets that he wouldn't be there for something that we know he played a major part in his early years as permanent Secretary in Finance. We know, I believe Barbados is sending one of their ministers. I think Prime Minister Motley would have given Prime Minister Mitchell that assurance in the last day or two. And we are waiting to confirm with the Prime Minister of St. Vincent. He had given a verbal commitment about a week ago that he would be here, but we haven't necessarily heard anything from him with a solid booking, so we're not sure. So these are the possibilities.
Jamaica
like I said,
would
for
make
sure, PM Rowley, the SG of CARICOM, the Director General OECS likely, and then other dignitaries would include the cadre of ambassadors and so that are coming from different countries, and international organizations would also send representatives.
Likely that we may see the Prime Minister of Jamaica. I know he had some interest in coming. I don't know if he probably scheduled.
Yes, he did have some interest. I think PM said both he and Prime Minister Chastanet in the last couple of days would have indicated to him that all is not lost by way of hope. So they're still trying. Like I said, for most of them, the issue has been flights. Because even the ones who are coming, the dignitaries who have confirmed, most of them have to get out by tomorrow afternoon early. Like, for example, the CARICOM SG. One of the conditions of him coming is that he moves directly from the ceremony to the airport because he needs to catch that Barbados flight. That early afternoon, I think it's the 1:30 or 2 o'clock, whatever time it is. PM Rowley likewise has an afternoon flight. So most of them, it was a case of getting to Grenada Thursday morning, and trying to leave, get out by Thursday afternoon because of the commitments that they have, the heavy commitments we know they have to the people of the region.
All right. One of the questions that we've been asked by several persons thus far is if persons will be able to make a walk through after everything is finished officially tomorrow.
That's after the opening ceremony, and so while there is just before the reception and stuff, they will be escorted into the building. People will go in single file, get a brief tour of that area right around the chambers. They'll enter the chamber, exit the chambers, and then come out of the building. So yes, there will be an opportunity for that.
And for those who can't make it tomorrow, will there be other occasions where they'll be able to tour the building?
Because the building it's not just for when there is a parliament. All the offices of parliament and so will be moved to that building. They have offices for parliamentarians. Each of them have an office. The Prime Minister has his office. The Leader of the Opposition, if there were, does have an office. The Leader of Government Business has an office. So, yes, there's a conference room facility in there. There's a little library. So there are different things in there that ensure that the building itself is a workable building year-round. The Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate, they both have their offices in there, the Clerk of Parliament, as well as the supporting staff in Parliament. So all of the functions will be moved immediately into that building. I can't give you when they're moving by, but I know that, as a matter of fact, I think some of them have probably taken up residence already.
And
not functionally, but I mean, they've been there so often in the last couple of weeks to ensure that everything is done and done well. So we're back up there this afternoon. We have a run through again of tomorrow's proceedings. So hopefully, fingers crossed that the weather holds up a little bit, but the yard is well outfitted with tents and everything to ensure that even if the weather does not hold up, most of us will be comfortable enough for that first part of the ceremony at least. And everything will be followed, like I said, by a reception with refreshments and stuff.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the entire thing, refreshments. Refreshments. Right?
Well, we are catering for quite a turnout. I think we expect to see in excess of 1,000 people there. So it will be a big one. I know a lot of the people from the constituencies have called and indicated interest in being there. A lot of the dignitaries in the country, and not just dignitaries, business community, and so have called just to ensure that the invitations are sent so that they can be there for it and everything. So it has generated quite a buzz. And I know Prime Minister is probably the most excited kid in that candy store. So.
State-of-the-art parliament, the number one best state-of-the-art parliament in the region.
It's a beautiful, beautiful building.
We've got
I
number
think
one.
what for me captures it every time is every vantage point I am in the tongue of St. George, you can see it. It's just sort of majestically looking down on us. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility.
And
well
Keisha, it has such that profile that when you're coming along the Karani James Boulevard, in the evening time, you're seeing that wonderful light on the hill. So it looks just beautiful from that perspective, from the Belmont, Jean Anglais area again. It's just a beautiful sight.
Yes, it is.
And we have to be extremely proud.
It is a beautiful sight, and inside is just as pristine, very, very, very nicely done.
Yeah.
So we must commend all those who work in the Ministry of Works and the UNOPS and all of these people, and of course the donors, because without their money, we wouldn't have been able to see this. It has been a very long time in coming since 2004.
That's why I go back Mexico for the rest of the World Cup.
Well, that's the reason. But I can't fault you for that. I'm still going with Argentina, but I can't fault you.
We're back in Mexico for the rest of the World Cup after this one. Well, Keisha, we'd like to thank you so very much. We know that I realized when I called you earlier, it's busy. So I know you from one to the other.
We're juggling several things here, yes.
Yeah.
But never too busy to talk to you guys. So.
Before you go, well, anyone would like to ask Keisha that question? Yeah.
Someone asked if the choo-choo train will be available to transport senior citizens to and from the Parliament building tomorrow.
Bottom of the hill to the top.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they do have a vehicle available because the parking will be very tight. So I know the traffic department and the entire Royal Grenada Police Force, led by Deputy Commissioner Martin and Assistant Superintendent Nelson, they have it all laid out in terms of traffic and transportation of the hill. So everything will be taken care of.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Everything because it's our refreshment. So thank you so very much, Keisha.
Yes, Sheldon. Okay. You are most welcome. Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Make sure and tell Yola and hello for us.
Will do. You'll see her tomorrow. She'll be there.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed, folks. We were speaking there with Press Secretary Keisha Grant, or Lakeisha Grant. Yeah, continuing to work extremely hard.
She's always on her feet, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, and the type of shoes that she wear, and she's always walking. I'm wondering.
You wanna know something about Keisha? If I phone her and she don't answer after 2 rings, she in a meeting. If after 2 rings she don't answer, that means she's in a meeting.
She's engaged.
But I can assure you that within a reasonable space of time, I will get a call back. Definitely. A real professional. Yeah.
Efficient.
You can't come here and not tell your friends and them hello, you know. So Anisha, you have to tell your friends and them hello.
We are about to exit the program.
Yeah, you have to tell your friends hello.
Extend the hi to all your friends.
To the Blue Bloods.
Brenda.
You're on national TV. You're calling your mother Brenda. Hey.
Miss
Mommy.
Brenda Phillip. Mommy. Miss Brenda Phillip.
That's the only one you're saying hello to. So none of the rest are students, none of the rest are young leaders.
I don't know who listening.
All of them might be listening. You never know. And when they hear you, somebody will call and they'll say, she on radio, listening.
I rebroadcast at 8 o'clock too, and then they will listen. So say hi. So so all the SAS friends here, she didn't want to say hi.
Yeah.
So,
somebody asked to tell daddy to bring a donkey for us to sit down. Why can people so?
Chris does not behave. Chris behave. Every day we had to be saying between Hannah may be busy today, but it's always Chris, Hannah, and Terry.
Yes.
These three people that's getting most problem. But let me say this though, folks. The St. David Parliamentary Office will be closed tomorrow due to the opening of the new Parliament building. In fact, I expect that all of the constituency offices will be in a similar situation since the staff would want to be part of this historic event. So the Parliament building being open tomorrow, the constituency offices more than likely will be closed because of that activity taking place tomorrow. And keep listening to your radio and so on for more information regarding the traffic arrangements and so. Yeah, keep listening and so on so that you could get some more information in relation to that. Folks, we also have the Women's they're having that activity that's coming up next week, Friday. Yeah, with the world famous Felix Lambie Waters.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, you understand? You could eat the saltfish sauce from these ladies. The fingernail clean. It's what's the fingernail clean. And plus, it does wear gloves and things too when they're doing certain things.
Yeah.
So fingernail clean, so you could eat from them. Yeah, they take their time and they do things. I just watch them, Being playing that anything going to my stomach to watch. You understand? So, folks, remember, I am. Tell them you are what? I am the.
I am campaign.
Yeah, I am the.
I am the change, and so can you.
Right. I am the change, and so can you.
We are the change.
To be the change, you gotta. Lead the change. To lead the change, you have to be the change.
Right. So to lead
the change.
Go ahead.
To be the change, you got to lead the change.
Lead the change, you have to be the change.
Okay, to lead the change, you got to be the change. Wow.
Yes. So, folks, we are heading out of here. We'd like to thank you so very much, Anissa, for being in studio with us this morning. And oh gosh, this person look at the. Okay, let me just take one quick one.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, you are so lucky.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, I finally got you. Well,
and we are about to run it.
We have 1 minute.
What I'm going to say is thanks very much for the information. So when I went, it was good, but then, like if they say if I have to do wrong the home, then do it in small hips. I don't need, when I say hip, sorry. You hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Go right ahead.
Yes, and
oh, that's the lighting of the fire, yeah?
Yes, don't do too much.
Yes.
But if I want anything for farming, then I have to go to the ministerial complex.
Yes.
And they will take my information, then send somebody here. Send somebody to the where the land is, and then they will take back whatever, and if it is possible that we could do it around here, then they will send I will get a form to fill out, and then the next one to take to the police on the in the central police station.
Okay. So you understand the procedure that you have to go through?
Pardon?
I say you clear on the procedures that you have to go through?
Yes, very much so.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So I call to say thanks very much.
Oh, you're most welcome.
That's why I like to listen to Hard Talk, because there we get the information I was able. But I didn't have to go with any ID card or such.
Okay, wonderful.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right.
So
we'd like to thank you so. We'd like to thank you so very much. We've got to run off.
And the young lady, you continue doing the job you're doing, and as your father there to help you, and Senator Scott, all you make a good team there.
Yeah, she ain't afraid, man. We go bring her again.
Right.
All right.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. All the best. Say hello to Isaiah and Senator Scott to your boy.
All right.
All right. Yes.
All right, folks. That's all the time we've got for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here. And indeed, yeah, and remember the rebroadcast. It's taking place tonight, 8 p.m. via CRFM, 10 p.m. via 94.9. And your friends can watch the live broadcast with you. They can watch it within about 5 minutes after we're done. They could sign on and they could watch over the whole program on YouTube. All right. So, folks, that's all the time we have today. Whatever you say, whatever you do, do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Right, that's all the time. Watch, I'm gonna play a little tune from a lady boy. I'll play a lady tune, yeah.
Grenada joins its Eastern Caribbean partners to launch Carry Secure Task Force. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Grenada has joined St. Lucia, Guyana, Suriname, Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines to launch the Carry Secure Task Force and Citizen Security Toolkit, which seeks to reduce youth involvement in crime and violence in the Eastern and Southern Caribbean. The project will seek to better understand the relationships between socio-economic and other factors and crime and violence so that policymakers can devise more informed and targeted responses to crime and violence problems. Carry Secure is one of 3 components of the broader USAID Youth Empowerment Services, or YES project, which will strengthen the capacity of national and regional institutions to collect, analyze and use citizen data to develop evidence-based policies and programs that effectively target risk factors that drive youth violence, crime and victimization. Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Gregory Bowen, says Grenada is making a public commitment through the launch to engage in national research and evidence-based policy and program development to address youth and the eradication of crime. And with 60% of the population below the age of 35, this is even more urgent.
We cannot stand by and say that we are immune to this issue, and therefore it should only be a concern for our neighbors to the south and to the north. Indeed, in recent times, we are seeing signs of youth violence slowly permeating our society. Therefore, as a country, proactive action is required, as well as evidence-based and well-targeted interventions to save our children and the society.
Carry Secure represents a partnership between USAID, UNDP and Grenada. Mr. Christopher Cushing, USAID's Mission Director for the Eastern and Southern Caribbean, says the Carry Secure support means that Grenada will adopt cutting-edge approaches to effectively address crime and violence at the tactical, program and policy levels.
Carry Secure promotes the use of evidence-based decision-making and fosters a reliance on valid, reliable and comparable data across the region. Using this approach, Grenada will be in a better position to identify trends, assess crime and violence conditions and risks, evaluate policies, and most importantly, design effective crime prevention strategies, many of them targeting youth.
The Carry Secure Task Force will comprise officials from the Royal Grenada Police Force, Her Majesty's Prisons, Ministry of National Security, and the Statistical Office. Grenada is developing a national risk assessment that seeks to determine the level of risk in the country with regard to money laundering and terrorist financing. Grenada is using a World Bank tool, which is an IT solution, to undertake the process. A joint approach has been undertaken involving representatives from public and private sector organizations to gather pertinent data, which will be put in the IT solution to determine the level of risk.
Offshoot from that is to develop a national plan going forward so that we can indicate as well how we intend to narrow those gaps and reduce those vulnerabilities and in fact reduce those risks. I think that's the whole idea behind it. And it's important for making a local statement, and it's also important for the international community to see that we are serious about fighting corruption, fighting money laundering and terrorist financing. The fact that we would be able to, of course, understanding the level of risk, we will be able to put resources in those areas where it is best needed.
That's the head of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Mr. Tafawa Peer. He says they intend to make the results of the National Risk Assessment public with the intention of developing a plan with timelines on how the challenges can be addressed. Mr. Peer was speaking Tuesday during a press conference called by the Office of the Integrity Commission to report on the 4th Annual Regional Conference of the Commonwealth Caribbean Association of Integrity Commissions and Anti-Corruption Bodies. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Celebrate National Nutrition Week, June 18th to 22nd. Join the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council as we raise awareness of the dangers of excess sugar in the diet and the health risks of childhood obesity. The theme, Too Much Sugar is Bad for Health. No ants in my camp. The week kicks off with an awareness walk at Guave, Monday the 18th. Tuesday the 19th, community walkabout in Victoria. Wednesday the 20th, dance exercise at Crowshoe RC School. Look out for St. George's Anglican School in action on Thursday the 21st at the Esplanade Mall. And Friday the 22nd, fast from added sugar. Calling young and old, join us in the fight against childhood obesity.
Continuing the news, Health Minister Nicholas Steele says a presentation will be made to Cabinet next week by consultants involved in the country's national health insurance. During the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, Minister Steele said the consultation and contract of the government of the Grenada National Health Insurance that was given to UWI through the National Health Insurance Secretariat is complete as of this month. He says government recognizes the need to provide quality healthcare services to all citizens regardless of their economic situation, and therefore the process must be thorough before implementation.
There are different alternatives or choices that we need to consider, but the entire basket and the implications of how wide that basket is will be presented. The actuarial review has been complete, and also the method and various options for contributions to the National Health Insurance. So Cabinet will then make a decision with respect to some of the options needed to be taken, and that will be put forward for public consultation and consultation to the various stakeholders so that a collective decision can be made as to the exact form and shape that our national health insurance, our Grenadian national health insurance will take, and then lead to implementation.
Meanwhile, the National Insurance Scheme, NIS, which is integrally involved in the National Health Insurance, now has a new chair. He's Mr. Christopher Husbands. Dr. Bert Braffett is the other government representative. They will serve in the position for 2 years. Agriculture Minister, the Honourable Yolande Bain Hosford, says the time has come for Grenada to unlock the true potential of soursop to obtain more international and regional markets. She was addressing the gathering at the Soursop Value Chain Analysis and Development Workshop on Tuesday. Grenada is the only country exporting fresh soursop to the United States. Exports increased from £500 million in 2012 to £3.5 million in 2017, raising revenue from $1 million in 2010 to $10 million in 2017. According to Minister Hosford, not only are the regional and international markets important, but equal emphasis must be placed on exploiting the true potential of the local market.
While we recognize the exponential growth in exports and the need to continue to grow our exports, let us never forget the tremendous potential in our domestic market. In this regard, I wish to urge us all to play our part in promoting the increased consumption of the fruit. In other words, let us pursue a balanced course of action if we are to revitalize the true potential of the subsector.
The Ministry of Agriculture boasts of investing millions in the cultivation of the crop over the last 4 years, providing over 30,000 trees to farmers. Former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mrs. Marina Jessamy, stressed the importance of the continued investment in the multi-million-dollar subsector, which, according to her, can one day be the new alternative for agri-food entrepreneurship.
It is estimated that the current capacity for production is over 2.2 million pounds. And at the average price of $4.50 per pound, this is really a $10 million subsector. So I would not like you to see only how many fruit trees somebody has, like in their backyard. But look at the industry as a whole. This is a $1 million subsector. And we believe that with the initiatives that we will take for the coming years, it will really present an alternative for the agri-food business in Grenada.
The Food and Agriculture Organization FAO and the Ministry of Agriculture will submit the proposed recommendations from the workshop for the formulation of an action plan. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.